Jack, I want you to draw me like one of your French girls. Wearing this.
Wearing.
Really like it, right, Miss J?
Yeah, we're doing it live. I don't give a shit.
Go-Kart Bob, I have a 2015 street bike 500 is what I got.
So it's not the one that
I sent you a link to like the 2019, but I've told you it was 2019.
Yeah,
but it's very similar to the 2015. But I bought a 2015 Harley street bike 500 as my first bike, just for my first bike. It was real cheap. It was $3,700. Which was, I mean, that's cheap. That's a cheap bike. That was such a low price. The girl I bought it from just wanted to get her money back. That was it.
I cry. But so the point of today, it's literally we're educating me in American things and why they are American. And one of them is that how can you just buy a bike, be drunk, get a permit for it, and immediately drive it without prior experience?
Well, how do you get experience?
You need to drive it with someone.
You know, I hate to tell you, Rav, but in America, bikes are kind of, only one person can drive at a time.
No, but you drive with someone supervising you. I don't mean someone riding your bike. I'm just talking
But
about
you would still, one, you still need a permit for that. And two, I did have someone supervising me. In fact, my mom was showing me how to ride a bike because she's been riding bikes for like 20 years. So she showed me the different tips and tricks.
But she cannot legally teach you, can she?
I don't need anyone to legally teach me.
Yeah, that's the fucked up. Why does America like that?
I mean, I could.
That Kawasaki that Bob said, that's pretty popular around here. That bike
Ninja.
specifically, I don't know why.
I'm familiar with the Ninjas.
But
yeah, they're all good bikes, but that was just never the bike for me. I was always a Harley person. I enjoy the sitting up.
You enjoy being white. I mean, that's kind of true. Harley promotes mostly for white guys, which is fine. That's the look it gives.
Well, I mean,
hasn't Harley been like around for a lot of years now?
Yeah.
It's mostly promoted that way. But I mean, that's not my point. Like my point is, how do you go? How do you even get a permit for it? Why do you even? For example, here, what you do is you get an instructor for a couple days. It can be free even if you want to. For a couple days, then you pass a driving test, and then it straight up give you a license. You get a drive.
See, I haven't gotten that yet. I'm not at that point yet.
Yeah, but you are able to kind of just move around the state or the place where you are. If I don't have a license, I cannot do shit. I cannot even turn on the motorcycle.
Well, I'm very restricted at the moment. So one of the things is I can't like listen to headphones. I can't really do anything but drive the motorcycle. I can't have a passenger. There's a whole lot of. I can't drive at night. I have to drive only during the day at the moment. There is a lot of restrictions with me on my bike.
So that's why the permit is for, just for you to drive with
Just
those
to learn.
notifications.
Yes.
But that's not learning, though. That's my point.
Well, the best way to learn is to just do it. So I've just been taking little trips here and there. going farther, getting a little bit more confident, and then I'll go in and grab my license, and that requires a driving test.
Yeah, but then the permit is kind of. It just annoys me the fact
I
that
mean, to answer your question is, do people just kind of go and get their permit every year? Yeah,
yeah,
some people do that.
but then
Yeah,
and
but
if
you
you
can't
get
have a
stopped, you can just say I have a permit.
yeah. But because most people don't ride at night, they
Yeah,
don't. So what would be the point of getting a license? And I can understand that question, but of course I'll get a license. Why not?
why would you? And also, here's the point.
So I can have a passenger rap. So I can have a passenger.
That's useless.
I'm I'm still in my prime rap.
I'm still,
Contrary to popular belief.
Kid, I had a bike for several years. I drove for several years, and I never in my life felt more disgusted to have anyone touching my property. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If I were able to pull a gun to anyone who touches my bike, I would. And now, for Go Kebab, getting a scooter is actually more dangerous than just using a bike.
Because you're driving the bike lane.
Yeah, and the scooter you can drive it like what
I,
pedestrians are.
I've had a moped. I've had a couple of mopeds in my life. So I mean, it's not a motorcycle, but it's yeah.
It's a grandma's motorcycle.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 16, I had a moped that you had pedals, that had pedals, and I had to pedal it just to start the engine.
Oh,
I
that's
remember
wait, what?
it was an old moped.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Oh my fuck, it's a thing. Oh, you know what? Seeing this, I saw, and again, going back onto the whole American thing, which surprised me a lot. I saw a news coverage that a woman drove one of those, like those. It's kind of a moped to a Walmart or something, because she was very overweight, and she broke the goddamn thing. She was
Yeah.
so fat the thing couldn't hold her. I don't.
You want
People,
to? So I got a list. I got a list of things that you might not understand. Heck, you might not have even asked the question until you realize once I ask it, and you go, "Yeah, why is that?" So these are things that people in the United States do and say that the rest of the world doesn't really quite get. And we're going to see if Rav can understand why. All right,
no,
ready?
doesn't get, but
Are you
people
playing
around,
music?
yeah, but
Okay.
people around the world doesn't give a shit about. But Americans do.
Yes. All right,
So,
here's the first one. First one on the list. Um, Americans use money that's all the same color.
what the fuck does that mean?
All of our money is the same color. It's all that olive green color.
Oh,
I
it's
mean,
really.
even Peruvian money. You guys have like red and blue and green, three colors.
I mean, yeah, because it looks nice.
Well, do you know why we all use the same color?
Fuck's sake.
I got laid in the 56 twice.
That's a golden rule. If you have a car, the back seat is your motel. That's just that's how it goes. Wait, hold on. Why do they do that? Because we do it for being simple. Like you just get by the color and you just pay with it. You know what it is instantly without having to check it.
Well, for us, I guess I don't even know why we use all the. I think just because we use the same ink, our printing presses are all the same ink, and we have different ways to tell what type of money it is. But I don't think we
Wait,
really pay
come on.
attention to
So
it.
if you're going to store and you have 150, a 10, and 20,
Hmm.
you need to look at each individual one to know what you're paying with.
I mean, yeah, but it's not like we carry like a stack of bills where we're going through them. If you nowadays, most people, I mean, nowadays at the very least, most people are carrying like less than $20 in their wallet at all times.
If I could turn my camera, I could show you. But I have a
I,
specific
I got a
wallet.
lot. I got a lot to go through here.
No, wait, I have a specific wallet just for just for bills, and I have one specific one just for coins.
You have two wallets.
Yes,
My coins and my coins and my bills go into the exact same pocket in the wallet.
but what if they fall?
What do you mean if they fall? They don't fall.
They fall. They have fallen from my pocket several times.
Look, I know you love to carry around a purse, Rav, but
I love
us men know how to use a wallet where things don't fall out of it.
Okay, you can you can zoom my transvestite balls, and I have several times when I take things out of my pocket, they just fall into the floor, and then I have to bend over, just squat to grab them. So I
I
just
mean,
decided to start using a wallet and a purse.
also, I mean, most everything is more than $1 nowadays, so most people don't even carry their change around.
Don't you have vending machines?
Michael Fontaine says you got a fanny pack.
It's not a fanny pack, dude. It's a literally small wallet. It's a small wallet that you can only put coins in it.
Yeah, coin purse.
Yes. Fuck, it sounds gay.
All right, another thing that Americans do is we put a lot of ice in our drinks. Like we fill the ice to the top of the glass and
here
then
is something.
pour the drink into it.
That's because you're cheap bastards.
I mean, it is. It
Yeah,
is.
that's because, and this is the. Here we have McDonald's. We have a lot of American restaurants, like Popeyes, for example. Popeyes. We have that
Popeyes.
here,
I love Popeyes.
but if you go to any restaurant or any place, they will give you your drink cold without a single ice. It's fully cold. But if you go into any of those restaurants, they they fill the fucking glass with ice, and that's
There's a
brilliant.
belief that so the Smithsonian stated that it's our kind of innate belief that more is more
No,
in the
excuse me.
United States. More of anything is better, and so
So,
more ice is considered better than less ice. But when it comes to because here's the thing is we fill our own glasses to the brim with ice when we pour a drink, even at home.
For no reason at all.
For no reason other than I guess that's just what we're used to.
I was looking into ice dispensers for the fridge, and they were invented in Las Vegas.
Hey, that'd be where they'd be invented.
No,
To keep the
because
drinks
people
close.
literally needed ice so badly that they needed to go into a lobby for the hotel and look for fucking ice.
Most
And-
hotels you still need to do that.
No, why the fuck would you need ice?
For the wine, for the champagne.
Why don't you just serve it cold?
You put it on ice.
You can just put it in the fridge.
In a hotel you get an ice bucket. Like you get an actual bucket so you can go out, get ice,
That's to
bring
keep
it back.
it cold.
to keep it cold.
But you can just put a fucking fridge and just put it in.
There's a fridge there.
What's the fucking point of the bucket? Why does it have to be a bucket?
It is though. It's an ice bucket.
Yeah, but what's the point?
To get ice.
I'm gonna fucking strangle you. Okay, walk me through this. You have in a hotel room, let's say more or less good hotel room. You have a fridge in your room,
Yes. Yes. Most
and
of the
they
time
give
do.
you an ice bucket,
Yes, to go get ice.
but you don't have ice in the fucking fridge.
There's no ice in the fridge. No.
Why
The fridge
not?
is usually the fridge is because it's not really a place to store anything. For the most part nowadays, it's kind of a commodity. It's filled with drinks. That if you drink
mean-
it, they charge you for it.
How do they know?
Oh, Go Kart Bob makes a nice thing. We don't put ice in beer, but we turn the
See?
glass to ice. That's the difference.
That's the fucking point. Why do you need ice in anything else? In anything really?
I mean, with a beer, we use a frosted mug. That's the accepted way to drink it. I mean, we're gonna get to what we drink beer out of in a little
No,
bit.
but we're talking about
Actually,
ice
Go
here.
Kart
We're
Bob.
talking about ice in general.
Yeah, we gotta
So-
stick with ice.
So you are telling me that besides having, for no good fucking reason, a fridge full to the brim with drinks of God knows what procedence,
Mm-hmm.
they give you a bucket.
Bucket.
They don't give you ice with the.
Correct. Correct. Okay, next
Mike.
on the list.
No, hold on.
I hope this is helping you, Rav. I hope this is helping you understand
This is giving me an aneurysm.
why Americans do certain things.
This is giving me an aneurysm.
Next on the list. Using America and Americans to describe ourselves, our customs, and our country.
Hold on, what?
We call ourselves Americans. You know,
Oh.
when someone says America, you know, we assume that it's the United States when, I mean, obviously, Canada is part of America, Mexico is part of America. Why is it that we call ourselves American and refer only to the United States?
Why is
You know,
it? Why
you know,
not?
to be a proud
just-
American.
Just to put an addendum on it,
Why?
there is a guy who is from fucking, I don't know, from fucking Brooklyn. He's black. Why is he
Okay.
African American?
Why is he African American? He's not. That is
He's
not
not
that is not a term that we use in America anymore. The accepted because that is what that assumes is you're assuming that person is from Africa, when that's not necessarily the case. So nowadays, the politically correct term is people of color.
I'm brown.
Yes.
Chinese are white.
No, they're not.
They're yellow.
I mean,
How is that? How is that incorrect? They are
the
white.
racial
They're
spectrum.
Caucasian.
Well, we would call them Asian Americans. I think that's still acceptable, Asian Americans.
Why if they are just
but-
Americans?
But black, actually, the term black has come back to be an acceptable term. It, in personal
So
color.
you're telling me, you guys went
But
all
not
the
the Spanish word for black. That's still not
Negro?
allowed.
negro is not allowed at all.
Nope. Don't use that word.
But that's Spanish.
Yeah, don't use that word here.
No. Here's the difference though, because the word is negro.
Yes, don't use
Wow.
that word here.
Well, the
You
American
can't- I don't even know if you can say that on YouTube.
thing is negro.
It's the same thing. You just
No,
sound like you're saying it with a Spanish accent.
porque son
It's
negros.
literally the same word. We just Americanized that word.
Pero
But
son
it is the
negros.
same word. Yes.
Keith, por el amor de Dios, son negros.
All right. So while Raph takes a little bit of a chill backstage, I'm joking, Raph. Where is he? So yeah, so the
No, hold on. Before you move on. So you're telling me that they went from saying black is not allowed to saying African American is not allowed to went full circle and say, yeah, it's fine saying black now.
Yes.
But we cannot use a fucking color.
Yeah.
So they not only wasted everyone's time going full circle, but in the process of that, they remove Spanish.
If you called a black person the Spanish word for black, you would get punched in the face.
What's up, my neck?
Yes. You would get punched in the face. And I don't want to stick on this topic for very long, Rav. This is a very sensitive topic.
No, but here's the deal. I know black people in America. In fact, I have a lot of friends that are. I would love to say black, but they are darker than my shadow.
Are you telling me you have black friends, Rav?
Yeah.
That's another thing you don't say in the United States.
Wait, why not? Wait, no. Hold the fuck on. Hold your horses. I can say I have black friends?
Right.
Why
Because of
not?
the connotation for that. So the reason why
What's
it's
the
like
fucking connotation for it?
because that usually assumes so that statement usually comes after being called racist. You know, when they say, "Oh no, I'm not racist. I have black friends." That doesn't necessarily mean you're not racist. In fact, the fact that you even have to claim that is terrible. So whenever you say that statement,
Wait. So I have to say I am racist, but I have black friends.
No, just say you have friends.
But they are black.
So what?
That's a big difference.
Does that make them different than regular friends?
Yes. Because I am someone who doesn't remember most of the time people's name. And I rather call them, yeah, they are my black friends than say, hey, I know Tyrone here. And his name is not Tyrone. Probably is because he's black, but I don't know. And I just rather say black friend. Or what if I say Asian friend? How is it different?
I mean, it's less. It has a less stigma to it.
Why?
But the whole point is, why don't you just say I have friends?
Because you are whiter than me.
Why do you, I mean, when do you tell people you have white friends?
No, that would be embarrassing. Most of the time, and I'm not even joking, when people hear me talking to anyone in English, they say, ¿Estás hablando con un gringo? That's about it. No one gets offended. No one gives a shit about it.
Yeah, you can't really say that word.
Why not? Give me explanation on why not.
I would rather you call me a punta than a gringo.
Punta?
Right? Is that the word?
A punta means a point.
Oh.
You mean a puta?
Yeah?
That's prostitute. It's whore.
Yes. Yes. I would rather you call me that.
Why?
Than a gringo. Because it just doesn't, it's been
Okay.
used negative. It's usually used in a negative manner.
You can suck my negative dick then. Because why okay, hold on. So this is Spanish, use straight up Spanish.
Okay.
If I use the color, I'm done for.
Yes.
If I use a slang, I'm done for.
Yes.
You cannot get arrested for any of this.
No, you can't get arrested for any of this.
And I'm brown.
This is social stigma, not legalese.
But here's the point: I'm brown. How does it affect me? I know it
I mean,
affects me.
it doesn't.
Yeah,
Honestly, though, I think I think you wouldn't be if you were in America. I don't know if you would actually be considered. I don't know. Your culture is very similar to ours in many aspects. I don't know if you'd fit in with the Hispanic group here.
So you're telling me not only I cannot say whatever the fuck I want, but I'm
You
not
won't fit
welcome in my own people.
I mean, probably not. Maybe with other Peruvians and Brazilians,
Oh, no,
but
probably.
you got to think you don't really come from a like a third world country, or I mean, you're kind of in a second world country, but you have all the benefits. Heck, you got the internet, and
Everything that we get is 50 years behind the United States.
see,
I'm
I
not even
love
joking. It's
that.
literally 50 years behind.
Well, I mean, that's what I like about the South, living in the South, like living in the Carolinas and stuff. It's very similar to that, unless you're in the cities.
It's not
Everything's in the past.
nearly the same.
All right, moving on.
Wait, hold on. Kid, you know that when people want to retaliate against you, they will capture your dog and hang it from a light bulb on the street.
They do that to you?
They do that here. And if they have killed or kidnapped someone from a school, they will take off their shoes and hang them in the electricity cables on the street.
Here, they just put poop in a bag and light it on fire and knock on your door.
Yeah, that's a first world country. Mine's a fucking nightmare. That's fucking.
All right, moving on. So in America, we write the date beginning with the month.
That's stupid. That's idiotic, and you cannot tell me otherwise.
You know why we do it?
If you tell me it's daylight savings, I'm gonna shave my balls.
No, we do it because fuck you. We'll write the date however we want to, and you're just gonna deal with it. In fact, it's gonna be standard in business.
When I
Because
started
America
working
does it.
for this American company, they trained us for 2 months just to know how to write the dates properly. So when they say February, we usually do date, February, so 02, followed by the fucking year.
Well, I mean,
That's the
I work for a German company, and they do year, month, day,
Which is fine too.
which totally makes sense. Year, month, day, or if you do day, month, year, you're doing smallest
Yeah.
to the largest. Yeah, in America we do month, day, year, and if you write the date in any other way than month, day, year, we will look at it weird. We'll eventually understand it.
Kid,
But
I
it
had a
will-
nurse.
We will notice that it's wrong.
I had a nurse looking to my eyes, dead serious, saying, "I don't understand it." Because the month was 16.
Because the month was 16, yeah. Eventually we understand it. Eventually, by looking at it, we do get it, but we will notice it being wrong.
It's not
Absolutely.
wrong. You're the ones that are wrong. Your
It's
entire
wrong.
fucking culture is wrong.
It's not American. It's wrong.
Again, Gold just to clarify, punta means point, which is nothing bad. Puto means exactly, yes, that's correct pronunciation. Puto means like whore, but for men.
Next on the list, advertising prescription drugs all over the place. So our prescription drugs are advertised everywhere. You see big posters for Claritin and stuff like that all over the place.
Oh my god! You know I work
Prescription drugs. We're not talking about like Tylenol and Advil. We're talking about like like, you know, cancer treatment,
So
drug
you know, I
commercials.
work with doctors and shit,
Yeah,
and there are people that come in saying, "Can you prescribe me name of this specific drug that I saw on the street?"
yeah. Do you know why? Because Americans have this innate thing where we know more than everybody else, including everyone around us, including doctors and stuff. We like to be in control of our own health, or have the impression that we're in control of our own
So
medical care.
before you
And
move on to something else, I just want to point out, you're telling me you want to be in control of everything,
yes,
but you let Apple dictate what can you buy it, when can you buy it, and how to repair it.
yeah, but I mean, we fight that. I mean, there's fighting that happens on that. You know, especially I've watched some YouTube videos where they fight that because it's wrong, and most people will tell you it's wrong. What they do is we have something called earmarks in bills. Are you familiar with that?
Not at all. What the fuck is that?
All right. So when you pass a bill, let's say you want
Wait, and isn't a bill a dollar?
no.
Oh,
A bill is a law.
yeah.
It's what a
Yeah.
law is before it's law. So when you go to pass a bill, you write up the bill, and let's say it's simple as, you know, you want to build a bridge, right? So you want to get it to be legalized to build a bridge. It's okay to build bridges, right? And so you go, hey, I got this bridge building bill that I want to pass through. Well, as it's getting passed through the system, what they do is they attach other legislation onto that bill that will do the most bizarre things. And they'll attach it just so they say, you know, the lawmakers will be like, hey, I'm only going to pass this bill if you include this. And so they attach it, and those are called earmarks. And so they attach all these earmarks to it, and then when the bill passes, it either passes or fails, and then everything else that got attached to it also passes.
That sounds illegal.
It's totally legal in the United States, but it's so stupid. Earmarks are ridiculous.
That sounds illegal.
Like you'll pass a bill to give money to give extra money to, let's say, schools, right? And it'll also send $20 billion to another country in the same bill.
Wait, is that a fucking thing?
That's totally a thing. Earmarks are totally a thing. Yes. Yeah, when a bill gets passed, very rarely is it just that one thing. Many times they have a bunch of earmarks on it. As it goes through, they just add them on.
I love the fact that I googled earmarked, and the first picture that I got was a pig divided.
Of course it is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's...
Yeah, that summarizes pretty clearly. Yeah.
All right, next on our list. All right. Hanging American flags everywhere.
You will get
We
shot.
put American flags freaking everywhere in our country. You
Give me a
name
reason
it.
why.
What?
Give me a reason why. You are American. You are in America.
Because
Fucking interpret.
America. Because it is a national custom to be proud to be an American. It is ingrained in your being where you don't
When
want
Trump
to
won.
be un-American.
When Trump won, there was like a bunch of people saying, "I'm moving to Canada." Where was your pride in that?
One, Canada wouldn't take them,
I know. No one would.
and two, that was not me saying it. That
Is
the
that your fucking defense?
Yeah, it not because in that case I voted for Trump.
No,
But I would never say I'd move to another country.
So here's the.
If I'm
here's-
gonna move to another country, it's not gonna be because I hate the country.
Wait, I mean that's what I'm moving.
Yeah, exactly. In America, you have to be. In fact, if you come to be nationalized in America, you will be asked many pro-American questions.
I know
Because
that.
the whole idea is that you need to be not only you need to be proud to be an American. It's a thing to come into the country. You not only need to just be here, you need to be proud to be here. It's a requirement.
I
It's
love
so
feeling
important.
proud at 3 in the morning.
But
That's-
we put flags everywhere. We put them. They hang off of our trucks. You know, we stick them on grave sites everywhere.
Oh
We
my
stick 'em-
god. Hold on. What about the Confederate flag?
So that depends on where you are. In the South, the Confederate flag's fine. People will fly the Confederate flag, and it's not a racist thing at all. It's a Southern pride thing. However, it can be used as a racist thing.
How is a flag
But-
racist? How do you make a flag racist?
Well, if you drive, if you flew the Socialist National Party of Germany's flag around, you probably have, you know, people might, you know, have thoughts that you might be racist.
So, let's make it a contradiction. So, if I'm wearing Jewish clothes, like the Torah and everything,
Yep.
and for some reason, I don't know, I decide to look into Hinduism. And I say, yeah,
Hinduism.
and this symbol looks interesting to me. It means good luck. And I happen to put it on my car.
Not in the United States, you're not. Because that window. If you want someone to break your window, that's the way to do it.
Well, why though? He's violating my liberties to do whatever the fuck I want.
I mean, you can.
I mean, that's assault, isn't it?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's destruction of property or something like that, larceny or something, you know. But I mean, that doesn't mean they're not gonna do it. I mean, there's certain things you can't do. One, you know, put a racist symbol on your car and talk about Will Smith's wife. There's
was
just certain
young,
things you don't
when I was
do.
very young, talking about 10 years old, I went to outside to my patio when we used to have it, and I used to draw that everywhere just because I didn't know what it means. And in fact, when I moved to this house, I was very young too. I moved with my grandparents. If you go outside, because they painted over everything, if you go outside, you
Of
can
course
see.
they did.
No. They painted over it, but I didn't draw it. I carved it into the wall.
You carved swastikas.
One
One. Oh, only one? Okay.
that is
That's-
visible.
That only makes you a lot racist.
Wait, let me see if I can take a picture of it. I need daylight for this. Yeah.
All right.
Next.
Next. Okay.
Yeah,
we
because we're
we,
in the swastika.
we use the imperial system of measurement instead of the metric system. So, you know what that means. That
Oh,
means using
yeah,
feet,
we're-
gallons.
We're moving past it. Now we want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it. You know
I'm
why
used
we
to
use it?
I don't know why. I don't really give a shit why.
Did you know you also use
Hi, Roxy.
the imperial system? Your
No.
measurement of the day is an imperial measurement system. 24 hours in a day is imperial.
But it makes sense.
Does it?
Yes.
24 hours? Why 24 hours?
Because
Shouldn't it be 100 hours or 10 hours? Wouldn't that's the metric system? The metric
No,
system would be
because
10
it's a
hours.
no,
In
but that's
fact,
that
years
wouldn't.
ago-
No. Hold on. Because if that was your logic, you will say Amperius will be 100, 200, and that's not how that works.
Yes, the metric system would be like 100 or 10. In fact, the French did use a metric system for their days and months. It didn't work out. It failed. It failed miserably. Everyone ended up having 2 calendars. So they went back to the imperial system. But your calendar and the way you tell time is imperial. All right.
But again, hold on. That makes sense though.
What doesn't make sense?
No, that makes sense. Like because it's based on something. What is feet made based on?
Well, someone measured their foot and said that's a foot.
So
And they
someone
took a
said,
step.
"This is my feet."
Then-
Now this everyone uses my feet for measuring everything ever.
Yes, and then they took a step and they said this is a yard. Yes.
Who was it?
But to be honest, I mean, like we use Fahrenheit, which is also imperial, and
No.
that's
We're not
similar.
moving away from this, kid.
no, I'm talking about the same thing. So Fahrenheit, it's the same thing. We measured the blood of humans, and I forget what 0 stood for, but it did stand for something.
It's great, but here's
Why. Okay.
the. Hold on, I kind of forgot. I went fucking sidetracked. But
Good. Next.
How do you decide what feet is the standard?
What feet?
Yeah.
12 inches.
How do you decide what inch is the standard?
There is just the standard inch. That is the standard. The inch is.
But
the
that's
standard.
not 1 centimeter.
No, it's more like 2.5. 2 and. change.
Why the fuck is 2.5?
Well, what is a
Give
centimeter
me
based on?
with your hand. Just with your hand. Try to do an inch. Now try to do a centimeter. Which one makes more sense?
One, you call it a centimeter, which is a hundredth of a meter. You're calling it a hundredth of a meter. That's like me
Yes.
saying, that's like me saying a centiyard. It's stupid. It's the same thing though. We call it an inch, and you use a centimeter. Which is better? I mean, the metric system's better, but
Because it's a
we're not
standard.
gonna use it.
No, but it's a standard though. It's based on mathematics. It's based on mathematics because it's a standard. How do you say, yeah, this is a feet? Everyone
Well, you
uses it.
the fact is you have to have the standard. So your standard would be the meter. The meter is the standard, not centimeter, because that's 1/100th of a
Like
meter.
Roxy, in a school, do they teach you both, or do they teach you one? That's my point. Because if they teach you both, it's useless.
I only learned imperial. I had to learn. In fact, I don't really have the metric system knowledge in me. I understand.
Count
it,
to 100. That's how you
but
do it. You count to 100.
Everything uses imperial system here. The temperature, speed, everything's imperial.
But
And most Americans don't leave America.
But you use. Oh yeah, that's true. But what's the? Because of college, right, mostly. But my point is, you still use metric.
At times we do. In fact, I have tools. Half my tools are in imperial system. Half of them are
Yes.
metric. Yeah, because it depends on, like, for instance, if you were to get a bike that was made in China, you would have to use metric.
Okay, so you're telling me the only reason why you have it is because other people use it, and when other people make things, you need to make it accordingly to what they do,
Correct. Yes.
instead of just being in your own bubble.
because they're not as cool as Americans are.
That is the same.
We do
thought.
understand that not everyone can be perfect.
Kid, that's what Nazis do.
All right,
That's
next next on our list. All right, Americans have an expectation of free refills whenever we get a drink.
Those aren't free.
Hmm?
Those are not supposed to be free.
So when you get a cup and you go get a soda, getting another soda is free.
No, it's not.
In America, it is, and it's expected.
No, no, it's not. Even Disney doesn't. Wait, Disney doesn't do that.
Six Flags does. In fact, Six Flags does this whole thing where you buy a cup and then you can bring it in and get like 99-cent refills instead of the $4 whatever refills. But most restaurants, your soda is unlimited, your drink is unlimited, your coffee is unlimited. You can get free refills. It's expected to the point where actually in the South, not only is it expected, but you can ask for a take-home cup to take a full cup home with you after you're done eating.
Kid, when I go to buy a meal anywhere,
Hmm.
and I ask for them to bring it home, they put it in a bag.
Yeah,
They put the liquid in a bag, in a plastic.
the liquid in
The
a
liquid.
plastic bag.
Yes, the liquid.
No, no, you get a whole nother cup most of the time. You drink it out of a glass, and then when you get a to-go cup, they give you a to-go cup.
In
Like a
fact,
free
I
drink.
have my dinner here, and it's on a bag. The water is on a plastic bag.
It's in a plastic bag.
So what you do is you poke a hole, and then you put it in your glass.
Well, now see, that's an interesting thing that was listed. Is when we go to a restaurant and they ask us what to drink, in America, we just say water. I'll just have a glass of water. Let's say you want water, you'll have a glass of water. But in a lot of other countries that I'm aware of, it's common for a question to follow that question. Do you know a question?
What would you like?
What kind of water? Yeah, you don't really get that question here.
And hold it for them. What? There is just one kind of water.
No, because you can get bottled water, you can get tap water, and you can get.
Why
some
would you
other
drink
type of
that
water.
water? That's disgusting.
Not in America, it's not.
No, it is still disgusting.
Not in America, it's not.
Unless you have filter, it is disgusting.
You do realize what Dasani is, right? It's
I don't even know what the sign is.
Dasani. It's the Coke water bottle. It's the water bottle from Coke. It's Dasani. It's literally tap water from America.
Oh.
Our tap water has a high standard to it. American tap water has a very high standard.
We're used to, when we are very, very young in school, they tell us not to drink it because we will get parasites on our stomachs.
Not here. See, we wouldn't tolerate that in America. Our water is very parasite free.
No, they
In
tell
fact-
us that because it's dirty.
In fact, if they tested it, because they do test it very regularly, and they found it to contain something that it shouldn't contain, they're required by law to send notifications house by house. But our water is very much drinkable here.
You cannot.
Just
No,
tap
but-
water.
There is no chlorine in your water.
It's fluoride.
It's chloride.
Fluoride.
It has to be chloride.
No. If they do, if
You
it
took your time to
was,
say no.
they could have. But if they did add the chlorine to clean it, they would have removed the chlorine before filtering it out. They would have filtered it out before sending it through the tap.
I mean, yeah, but you don't always get rid of it.
Well, you can't pass it on to Americans if it contains a certain amount. At any dangerous level, it gets completely filtered out.
I mean, it's not
What I'm
dangerous.
saying is, water is very safe here in America. I drink tap water all the time.
No,
I grew up.
I
Not
grew
only
up.
that, we grew up
water
drinking
from our
tap
river.
water out of a hose.
I
Yeah.
grew up drinking from a river.
I won't do that. Not unless I clean it.
But that's the same fucking thing. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't
There's
drink tap
parasites.
water unless I clean it.
Yeah, but our tap water has already been pre-cleaned. It doesn't come out of the faucets until it's clean.
But that's just
We just have a very, very high water standard here. That's what it is. Next topic.
running out.
Using red cups to drink alcohol.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about that fucking shit. Why not just? Why not just? Why?
In fact, we have a whole song about that
Why
damn
does,
thing.
here's the following question: why does it have to be red? Why does it have to be plastic? Why there is a fucking song about it?
Okay, so initially, what happened is when you drink, we drink water out of plastic cups because we like to get drunk, and if you drop a glass cup, it has a tendency to break. So we don't drink them out of glass, we drink them out of plastic. Then a company came out a long time ago, Solo, and put out red plastic cups. That was all. Oh, sorry, I get the hiccups. That was all they made. That's it. And now they make different colors now, but their original was red. And so all the other companies, even like Walmart brand and all that, they kind of copied with the whole red. So red stuck around, kind of similar to the reason why Santa Claus is red. It was just a marketing color that they chose. And so the red Solo cup is the standard when it comes to party drinking. However, most people don't buy the Solo brand anymore. They'll probably buy just the generic brand, but it'll still be red. And yes, Michael Fontaine brings up a good point. So there are lines in the red Solo cup, and those lines mean something. So when you do a shot, there's a line for a shot measurement.
Wait, so you drink these shots?
You can drink a shot out of it, yeah.
Why
Yeah.
don't
And
you?
there's a measurement. You can do some basic
So
measurements.
you're telling me you don't feel the cup,
You can.
but you
You can do a
don't.
shot out of it. Like let's say you want to do like a rum and coke. You can measure out a shot of rum in the cup and then fill it with coke.
Why?
So that you're not using a shot glass.
But
But for the most part, it's just the reason why I said is because Solo came out. They were cheap. They were
how
very
much is
cheap
it?
cups.
How much is it? Because I'm
So
guessing they send you 100, right? On batch of 100.
100 for $2.50.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. That's the one thing that makes sense. Like if they say 100 for 2 cents, yeah, sure, fuck it, whatever. Because if you're telling me that most people would use them in specifically parties,
Yeah.
makes no sense. Why does it have to be red? Why is it plastic? Why don't you just grow up and grab a fucking glass?
Well, it's because if you get drunk, you drop the glass.
No, you don't.
And if you're a host to a party, it's a lot easier to clean up plastic cups than it is to wash dishes. And don't underestimate the laziness of Americans.
Kid, I'm gonna tell you this and I want to think about it.
Okay.
So here is a custom to have one glass. Only one.
Glass of what? I mean, if you're drinking a glass of wine,
No. I'm talking literally. In a party where you have like 10 people around one table, like drinking a beer, right?
Mhm.
You will have one glass. Only one.
That's because you.
That
can't
they will
afford
pass
more
around.
in Mexico.
That they will pass around. One
They
glass.
pass it around.
They pass around. They each serves on that one cup, and they just pass around.
No.
And they protect that cup with their lives. Because if that breaks, that's the only fucking one.
Yeah. No. I'd rather spend $2.50. It might have gone up since I'm looking at the picture, but even $3 for 100 cups, even $5 for 100 cups, I'd still do that over washing dishes. It makes cleanup a lot easier.
It doesn't, because you have to dispose of them later.
All right, here's another one. We
No,
call our
no, no, no.
dishes.
Hold on,
We
hold
call
on. No, no. Here's a question.
Okay.
You value more the fact that you just can clean it in a way, like you just can what's it called swipe it, I guess,
Yes.
faster, but you don't realize that then you have to separate it later. Thinking about if
Why?
you talk about separating plastics,
Why do you have to separate it?
because it's plastic, it's recyclable.
Yeah, we now many places don't do that here. Now we do recyclables. I won't say we don't do recyclables, but um, um,
You
they're not
don't,
gonna
you don't,
haul.
you
They're
don't
not
need to.
gonna haul you away in a car if you throw away um, plastic.
I went to Chile once, and
It-
I
it-
threw what's it called? I threw the wrap of a candy in the streets just because I didn't give a shit. There was a policeman following me for 2 blocks. When he got a hold of me, he made me walk back to where my fucking wrap was, made me pick it up, and threw it in the trash can.
You'd get that here. You'd get that here if a police officer saw you, but because that's littering. But throwing, to be honest, throwing the recycling system in America is probably the most stupidest system. If you guys have not looked it up, it really doesn't save anything. It really just makes you feel good about yourselves and say, hey, I'm recycling it. But it
I
doesn't.
mean, wait. How does recycle work then?
I mean, you have two bins. One bin is for trash. One bin is for recyclables. You put your
Okay.
paper, your plastics, everything like that in it, and then it goes in and gets separated. And you think that when the trash man takes it, all that stuff is going to be recycled. It's going to be part of But to be completely honest, almost none of that actually gets recycled. It still ends up in a.
You don't have someone that specifically goes to pick the recyclables.
No. No, because there's rules. For instance, like a milk container. Let's say you recycle a milk container. Here, you have to rinse out the milk container before you put it in there. Most people don't do that.
Why would you? It's just fucking hard. You just throw it away into the recyclables.
Yeah, and then they just put it in a landfill because it hasn't been rinsed out. They don't have somebody there rinsing the plastic out
But why don't they just rinse it out?
because that takes a lot more work. I'd rather pay somebody to do that for me than to do it myself. And
Yeah.
in fact, I lived in the town I lived in North Carolina, we actually got taxed because we didn't have a recycling program. We were taxed where somebody actually went through the trash and picked out the recyclables from the trash. And I was okay with that.
Yes, that happens here too. Normal people go into the streets, they look in the garbage, and they take out the recyclables.
No, this wasn't normal people. This is people hired by the government
Oh, fuck me.
to do that. So we don't have to. Very lazy here. Okay.
I'm,
Okay, we call our dishes by the wrong name. That's the topic here. And what it says is, for instance, in America, what we call an entree, we call an entree as that's our main dish, the entree. We're served the entree. It's the main dish. However,
Andres,
entree, it means entrance. It's the first dish.
yes, is the appetite.
It's the appetizer. Yeah, not in America. The entree, when you say entree, it's the main dish. You're
But
being
that's
served the
French
main
for
dish.
entrance.
Yeah, yes. Yes, it is.
So not only you took my ability to say black in Spanish, but you took French. You took the only thing that's good about the French. Fuck the French. Fuck those peoples. If there is someone French, as an individual, I hate you.
Yeah. Well, French have some problems here in America when they come to visit. That's the one of them. Another is that bathing suits are required. In fact, it's common. It's common for people from like Europe when they come visit the United States is that you have to wear your bathing suit because they're it's very common over there for them to be topless, and you can't.
I mean,
You can't
yeah.
do that.
For example, here, if I go to a pool, you can find just random people topless. Where would you
Yeah.
find that?
You can't do that here.
Even for men?
Men can.
I mean, but then what's the? But if I go to a pool, I'm going to see tits out. Well, that's bullshit.
Oh, here's
Oh,
another one.
wait, Michael is French? Oh shit, Mike, I'm so sorry, but I still hate the French. You know why I hate the French?
Okay,
Because they're
another
over.
one.
No, hold on.
Okay,
I'm
go
being
ahead.
racist here.
Rave is ranting.
No, but I hate the French because
That's not French, Michael Fontaine. You're a
what?
Canuck. I'm a
You're
Canuck.
Canadian.
That's not French.
Maple eater. You beaver fucker. That's it. I'm not even gonna go into the Canadian thing because Canada is actually a pretty nice place.
Canada is a nice place.
But French is like French in general. That's fucked. That place is a shithole. This stinks like ass.
France?
Yeah. You never
Take
been
your
to
word for it. I never been to France.
Yeah. Someday I'll take you there.
How about that Americans, we eat sweets at the wrong time of day.
Is there a time of day to eat? What?
So for basically what we eat for breakfast in the morning would be considered desserts everywhere else. Donuts,
Oh,
Bayesian waffles, pancakes with syrup and icing, and sugary cereals. Our breakfast is very high in sugar.
that's why the most bleeding cause of diabetes is.
Okay, how about
Americans really like eating stuff, and it starts with obesity and ends with school shootings. I mean, that's what America lives in.
Yeah, that's yeah, you just summed us up pretty well. How about the fact that we tip, common courtesy? Do you tip
As a courtesy,
as a courtesy? For the most part, it's pretty much required here. If you don't tip here, you're a terrible person. In
Why?
fact, we pay our servers less because we expect them to be tipped.
okay, I'm getting mixed signals here. Tip is the what is the tip exactly?
When let's say you have somebody who brings you your food, and at the end of the meal, you give them extra money
Why the fuck would I do that?
because they did a good job.
That's why that's what the job is.
Yeah, well, here in America, we have a minimum wage of I think it's like $7.25. However, if you're a server, the minimum wage is like $3.
So what
Because-
happens if people don't tip you?
Well, so if people don't tip you, the restaurant does have to at least give you minimum wage. So you do end up making at least minimum wage if you don't.
How do they know if
However,
they can
in
tip you?
America, you always get tipped. For the most part, I mean, you
Wait,
have to
wait,
be
wait, wait, wait,
really
wait.
bad to not get tipped.
How do you know? How you as a business owner know if a server has been tipped?
Because they have to claim them. They claim all their tips. They have to pay taxes on them. Of course, they got to pay taxes on them.
No. How the fuck? I can just say I didn't get anything.
And many do. It's illegal, but many do.
But how can they know I did it or not?
Well, a lot of people pay with cards now, and so you can't hide that tip.
3.45 an hour for a server?
Yeah, is that what the minimum wage is in the United States? for a server.
But what? So you can get over the minimum wage.
Wait, no. Federal minimum wage for a server and other tipped employees is $2.13.
Okay, hold it. No. Wait. So you? How the fuck does this work?
Because you can't. So thinking the other
So
way,
wait, no.
right?
So you're.
Let's-
Let me try to get it as I'm trying to understand it. I'm trying to get my head around this. So you go into work, you get paid $2 on something.
Yes.
If you don't get to minimum wage, they cover that.
Yes.
Why don't you just pay minimum wage?
Because they expect the people who come in to eat to make up that amount.
But if they're gonna do it either way, why don't you just don't do it?
I mean, the fact is when you go to a restaurant, you really have to tip. You have to. It is
What happens
not
if I
really.
don't?
It's not really optional.
What happens if I don't?
You're a terrible person, and people will be pissed at you.
I'd rather be a terrible person. But
No, go-kart Bob. The federal minimum wage in America is $7.25. However, states can set their own minimum wage as well, as long as it's above or equal to $7.25. Oh yeah. DD74 says, "What happens if you don't tip?" Yeah, you'll probably get spit in your food. That's
why will I? No, you pay after.
Yes, you do. But never ever mention that you're not tipping. Be a tipper. If you don't tip, don't
That's
ever go back to that restaurant.
That sounds oddly sexual. Be a tipper.
If you don't tip, do not go back to that restaurant ever.
But what's the point? You can just pay them minimum wage if they're at the end of the day they're just gonna make minimum wage.
Well, the idea is that if they're a better server, they're going to make more than minimum wage.
Yeah, but at the end of the day you can just give them minimum wage and the better ones can still make more money of it.
Yeah, but that costs the business owner. Versus,
But that's his fucking that's the point of being a business owner.
hey, in this case, I don't. This is the system as it is now. I'm not saying it makes total sense, but it's the system as it is now. It's they get paid $2.13 an hour, and if you don't tip them, you're a terrible person.
So am I legally obligated to do that?
Yeah, no, not legally. No, you can not tip. Good luck with that. I wouldn't. That would never be an option for me. Even if I didn't like the service, I still tip.
How? I mean, they cannot charge you for something you don't want.
Well, in fact, they can sometimes. So if you have a party of 8, tipping is mandatory, and it is illegal. It is legal.
I go to your wrong.
Force you to tip.
Let's put it where. Let's put a practical example. I go to Yalong. I have my lunch and a glass of Coke. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
What I would do normally, if the person who did it was, I don't know, kind or whatever, I would just put, I don't know, what it could be like $1, something like that, on the table.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
That's if they were good. Like that dollar here will be like if you were fucking excellent, you just did what you're supposed to do, and
But
you
how
move
much
on.
was your meal? How much was your meal?
Does it matter?
Yes.
$5?
Then that's a perfect tip. For a $5 meal, that is a perfect tip. That's a 20% tip.
Oh.
That's
Okay,
20%.
wait,
is your-
backtrack. Where does the 20% come off?
It comes off your bill. You pay. That's 20%.
So you're taxing me.
voluntarily.
That's not how taxes work.
No, No, it's not, and it goes to the server. It doesn't go. Well, a portion of it does go to the government because they do get paid.
But
So it
then
is
that's
part of the tax.
taxes. You're getting
But-
taxed for eating.
But that's
How does it
income
work
tax.
for deliveries?
Well, you tip the driver too. In fact,
Oh, you have
nowadays,
to be fucking kidding me.
nowadays you tip the driver before you receive the food.
You have to be fucking kidding me.
Yep. Yep. As when you place the order, it now asks you whether or not you want a tip prior to receiving the food. Yes.
Why not just include it in the price?
No, only the $2.13 an hour that they get paid is included in the price.
Yeah, but why not include it, the full thing if you already have a system for it? It's 20%.
Because it'll make you feel good. If the person was a good server, it makes you feel good to be like, hey, let's leave them an extra percent.
I don't even fucking know them.
Because believe it or not, good servers, I think, what is the average? Good servers make 18% tips. Bad servers make like 16% tips. So it really is no difference in America. Duty 74
No.
because we're a scammy bunch.
Okay, hold on.
So even if you're a bad server, you still tip.
If I get
It's
delivered
still-
my food at my house,
Yes.
I'm paying the driver.
Yes.
How much
Yes.
tax?
In
the-
fact, that has always been common.
But that's not the. But that his. Hold on, fucking second. His job,
That
his job on itself is to drive. Why do I need to pay? Why do I, as an individual, do I need to pay him?
Here's why. In this case, there is an actual reason, right? In this case, while he probably is making minimum wage to be a driver, there's a toll being taken on his vehicle and on his gas because the company does not pay for either of them.
Why wouldn't?
And so the tips kind of go into gas money.
But that doesn't make sense. Why doesn't the company cover that?
Because the tips do.
This is a fucking rule. Okay, let's say we get rid of that. The
Get rid of
company
the
just
tips?
has the company just has to pay for it, and it will make a fucking difference. Besides, now prices are clearer.
But because then we'd be afraid of getting a whole bunch of bad servers. I don't want to have to complain to the manager when I get a bad server. I'd rather just
How does
tip
that?
them less.
How does paying someone appropriately? No. How does paying someone appropriately makes bad servers?
Well, they are getting paid appropriately, just not
They
by
are
the
not.
company.
You're telling me two. You're telling me $2. And if and only if they don't get tipped, they get to minimum wage.
Yes, but most of the time that doesn't occur.
But that's the point. Why, if that's to happen most of the time, why don't you just remove the tip?
Because sometimes they make more than minimum wage.
But
So
I mean,
if
they
you
can
have, so
make
here's
more
the
without
thing.
having to tax it.
If you have two companies and one pays the minimum wage and just says you don't get any tips, just minimum wage, and you got another company that says we're going to pay you $2.13, but you get to keep all your tips, you have a potential to make more than minimum wage here. Which job are you taking?
The first one. Because there is security on it.
There's security on the other one too.
There is
Because
not.
if you-
They're being sold a promise. They're being sold a promise on where if
The problem,
you get to do it, and if that happens on that way, then you get paid not only what you are supposed to be paid, but a little bit more. Instead,
tip
on the
system-
first one, it doesn't remove the tipping. On the
Yes,
first
it
one,
does.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
We have that, and it doesn't. You can still pay a little bit more. You can give $1 or $2 to a person if you think they're good enough. You can always do that. That's not like you're going against something. That you can always do that.
Yeah, But that's just basically, if you're going to keep it the same, you're basically just raising the tipped service amount from 213 to minimum wage. You're not
Yes,
changing
what
the aspect.
difference
There are
is
some
you're
there are
giving.
some companies out there that will pay. They pay their employees a wage, like a reasonable wage, but then the company itself takes the tips.
But that's the point. That in this case scenario, they are not allowed to do that because the transaction is immediate. It goes directly to the server's pocket or card or whatever the fuck is it, Venmo. I don't know. Because I mean, if you get paid the full minimum wage and you just like get the tips whenever they feel like it, people don't feel obligated to do that.
Yeah, but now you're trying to change an entire society because our entire society is obligated to do it.
This is why we need more school shootings. Now, wait. This is a question I want to understand. What does Bob mean by this?
How much is tax in Peru? What is your tax?
I mean, that depends.
Well, different kinds of taxes?
Yes.
Oh, dang, you guys got a flat rate tax? So income tax in Peru is a flat rate of 30% of your gross Peruvian sourced income.
Yes, but that's usually covered by the company itself.
That they take it out of your paycheck.
Not really. It's just a declaration of what I'm making. They don't take it out because they have promised me a certain amount, and that's the amount after taxes.
They promise you that amount after taxes.
Yes, so it's pretty clear what I'm making. They are
What
not.
happens when your taxes? What happens when that changes?
It doesn't change.
Like, what
That's-
happens if you're working at the job and then all of a sudden it goes from 30 to 31?
It doesn't change. That's why.
Does your company give you more money?
Yes, in a way, yes. For example, it has. You know that the dollar has changed because of this whole pandemic and stuff. I told you that before. For me, $1 was 3 sol, and now it's
Yes.
4.
Yes.
So what my company did is that they just raised it. They gave us more money. I mean, that effectively creates inflation, but it's an inflation at a very low rate.
All right, because you are getting paid in sol.
Yes. Which the difference is still, I mean, they don't
But
take
it's an American company,
Yeah.
so they're basically. So for them, it hasn't changed. Only for you has it changed.
Yes.
For them, it's the same amount of money.
Yeah.
For you, it seems like more money.
It seems,
For
but
them, it's
that's
not.
that's the point when I'm working for an American company.
Well, in America, we have our taxes are not as
Linear?
simple as 30%. We have a sliding scale. So for the first, I think it's like $24,000. The first $24,000 you make, no tax. From 24,000 to like 35,000, you're gonna get taxed 10%. From 35,000 to 45,000 or 50,000 or something like that, you're gonna get taxed 15%. It's a very big sliding scale, up to I think the max is 35%, something like that.
Now, Michael, that depends on which career. In one of them you get paid, in the other you get debt. So, but why do you need to do that? Here's my point. Why do you need to do that? Isn't the government the one that is supposed to do that?
Because it helps the poor people.
How the fuck does that help the poor people?
Poor people don't pay taxes.
Oh, am I poor? Hold on. Let me think about this.
I mean, if you're getting taxed 30%, think in America, you could be making up to $24,000 and not get taxed.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be taxed that 30%.
Yeah.
So the idea in America is the more money you make, the more you're taxed.
I mean that does happen. We have those ranges.
That's
But
like because $100 to like the think of $100. So $100 to somebody who's poor means something different to $100 to someone who's rich. And so if you were to take 30% the Peruvian tax off of that $100, regardless of how much money they made, that's worse for the poor person, right?
That's the point of the percentage. That's the point of the percentage. You make it a percentage, so it's based on how much you make.
But because of percentage.
Yeah, that's a percentage, so it doesn't really change. It only changes if
It
you're
affects,
if
it
your
affects
total
the poor
amount.
person a lot more than the rich person.
I mean,
Having
yeah, I get
having a
it.
flat rate.
When it's a flat rate, yeah, but when it's a percentage, no. Because the percentage will stay the same regardless.
Okay, we're talking the same thing. A flat rate percentage.
I'm
You
not,
have a flat rate percentage of 30%.
but that's conditions. I mean, that's conditions. For example, if that only happens if you're working one for a company, two you're working for I don't know for a company that has more than 20 workers or 80 workers. That there are conditions to it. Because remember, I'm living in a third world
But those
country.
conditions deal with the company, not the individual.
It deals with the company. It doesn't affect the individual because again, we're living in a society. Joker. We're living in a society where the most people are poor. Like for example, just look at
I
look
mean,
at
being flat taxed 30%.
But here's the point.
You,
Look at
your
through
government
your
is taxing the poor people of your country.
no, because they don't get taxed.
Why not?
Because that's on the company. If you work for a company, that happens. If you don't, then it doesn't. And most people here are self-employed. They make their own places. And
So
if
they're
you
not. Wait. So they're not required to. Let's say they've worked their own company. They're their own. They're self-employed.
wait. So for example,
Yeah.
you work for yourself. In here,
Yes.
you wouldn't be required to pay that because you don't have workers under your name.
No way.
I'm not even joking. You will have to pay a flat rate. You don't
No
even have
way.
to.
I have a feeling in your government, even if I
And
did
here's-
work for you and you gave me money, I would be required by law to tell the government I made that money.
Okay, so we have something called I don't know how to say it in English. I'm going to in Spanish. It's called nuevos, which it's basically saying that people that it's basically what you said that according to with the amount of money you make, but then you can pay different amount of taxes. For example, people that make I don't know more or less than $400 monthly, which again to Americans that's a ridiculous amount,
Right.
but conversions rates that matters a lot. So you make less than $400 a month, then you're not legally required to declare your taxes. Kind of, you need to declare that yeah, I made this amount of money, and then you will have to pay like $20, which is like $3. That's it. You move on. You move forward your life.
You wouldn't have to pay 30%.
You will have to pay $3, and it's always $3. If you make 500, $3. If you make, sorry, if you make 100, you make $3. It's always the same,
I'll have
regardless.
to
Of,
look into Peruvian tax code because that's nothing like here.
no, that's
But
making.
our taxes are very complicated here.
I
Incredibly
heard
complicated. I
that you
simplified
paid
it.
companies.
What?
You paid companies to do your taxes, don't you? TurboTax.
Yeah.
And for example,
Internet,
here, no,
yeah.
illiterate people who don't know how to read or write, they go, they pay 20 soles, and they are done for the year. 20 soles is $4.
Oh.
That's what I told you. For example, if you were to work to do the job that you do and get the money that you do, the only money that you have to pay to the government here will be not a percentage, but an exact number of what you're making.
You know, I've heard this a lot of times, and uh, Mike Fontaine mentioned it, and I want to talk about this for a second, real quick. It costs 2 cents to strike a penny. Um, yes, which initially that sounds like what? It costs more to make a penny than the penny's worth? No, that's not true whatsoever. You're putting that money into circulation. That penny is going to be used multiple times. So it's not that it's an item. Well, it seems like it's just a penny. It's not just a penny. It's an item that they're making. So the fact that it seems like that statement doesn't make sense. But one doesn't really have anything to do with the other, because the penny is actually a physical object. It's not like someone says to make that penny goes into circulation and it's worth more than a penny. It gets used 1,000 times. So it's got a worth of over 1,000 pennies because it's been used for so much. So they're not
Wait,
they're
Keith,
not weighted equal.
do you have to pay taxes based on how much money you make?
Yeah.
Do you need to declare how much money you make?
Yes.
Do you need to declare the way the money that was made?
Yes.
How do you declare that if you were paid through PayPal?
Because I get a 1099 from the company that I work with. So not only do I have to go to the government and say how much I made, the companies that gave me money also have to go to the government and say that they gave me money.
What if you're self-employed?
Same thing. You're legally required to claim that. Even tips, like I said, with servers, even money. Like if a guy walks up to you and said, "Hey, you did a great job. Here's $5." That $5 has to be accounted for in the government. Legally.
So if I were to work, let's say I do house chores for you, just cleaning whatever, and you give me $100 or $200.
Yes.
Do I need to declare that even though it was an in-person transaction?
Technically, if I hired you to do a job, even if I went and paid you cash, legally you would be required by law to claim it. Do people? No.
Because that would be stupid.
Because it would be stupid. But are you legally required to? Yes.
So in your case, my dude, you're losing money. Because here, what you will need to do is, you said, yeah, I made this amount, which is what you withdraw on your bank account. PayPal doesn't count. I made this amount, and they tell you, did you make this for yourself or with a company? You said for myself, so it's only $100. That's all the tax you pay. Because I know how much money you make.
Mm-hmm.
So based on that, I can tell you, you will pay around 0.18% of that. And in a way, that hurts me a lot because I'm kind of getting to understand why the fuck we're living in a terrible country. But at the same time, I can understand why people that work in the US tend to just buy places here and declare that they are working here. Huh. That's a lot of money laundering. There's a lot of taxation.
So our government taxes everything. They even tax money that comes into America. So let's say I live in America, right? But I have a store in Peru, and that store makes money, and then that store sends me my cut of that money through a bank transfer, and it comes into America. That money is taxed by the United States.
Well, how do you think? Let's say you have a store, but it's under my name, and I just send it to you.
That's different. Now, in that case, it depends on how much money you're sending me,
How do they know that?
because I have to declare certain amounts.
Or why do you?
Like,
Here's the reasoning. Let's say you
not
have a
only am I required, the bank is required.
wait. The government can see your bank.
Absolutely, they can. Yeah. In fact, they passed a law where the government now has access to transactions that are $600 and over.
I mean, I can just send you less than that.
Yes. Yes, you can. So you're gonna send me less than that? You're
So-
gonna send me less than that?
Is that considered money laundering?
No, it's not.
At what point is considered money laundering?
Money laundering is getting money from an illegal purpose and putting it into a company. Then they claim it and they pay taxes on it, so then it
Yeah,
becomes
but that's
legal
not-
money.
Oh yeah, that. God damn it! I'm just translating directly to what it means. I'm talking about when you just receive money but you don't declare on it, and it's not tax avoidance because technically someone just send you money.
Mm.
But I mean, still, it's something. For example, let's say you give me money to make a store here. I make the store and I just send you a copy. You don't need to declare it because it's not on your name. I'm just doing it because you did it for me.
In that case, I probably would have to declare it.
But how do they know? How will they know?
It's just required by law. And in America, we tax literally everything. We tax not only the money that you make, but the items that you buy. And then when you die, the government takes a cut of how much you're worth when you died.
That turned out green. What the fuck does that mean?
We,
Why do they need to
America,
know?
America taxes everything. There's a death tax. Yeah. When you die, let's say you die and you want to give all your money to your kids, the government gets a cut of that
Why?
because it's the government.
Okay, you're just repeating the same thing. You're not giving an explanation.
We get taxed for literally everything.
No, wait. So if you have money on hand and you pass away and you give it to someone, whoever, your dog, I don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
How will they know?
Because they come in and they deal with the death. It's like one of the things you do when you die is they have somebody who audits, everything that is owned to you, and then a lawyer has to pass it on. But you gotta.
Let's say I have it under my mattress, and I'm about to die. I have it under my mattress, and I told you where it is for you to take it before they outed it. No?
You're just trying to find ways around the law. The law is that you would have to pay a tax on that.
Why the fuck do I have to? There is no explanation to it.
It's the law.
It's the fucking law, but why? Slavery was a law. That doesn't
Some
mean it's
laws-
good.
I mean, some laws don't make any sense. Like in Europe, they had a window tax.
They
They
have a
taxed how
TV.
many windows, how many windows you had in your house. You get taxed for that.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, why? Why would you get?
It's stupid.
So if I go around the law, then I'm breaking the law. So that's tax avoidance.
Yes.
It's only tax avoidance if they find out.
Yes.
Will they find out?
I don't know. It's a good
So
question.
how likely it is for them to find out? Because I'm not. I want to think the best of people, and I don't want to think like someone dear to me has died, and on the next day I have a police officer on my front door asking me to see the death.
Yes.
That's fucked. That's
Yeah, because you got to get a death certificate. Death certificate comes from the government.
why do you need
And
to get a death certificate?
why do you need a birth certificate?
It's a good question.
So let me also be honest here. Is I worked outside today, and I did not drink enough water at all today. So I'm actually suffering from a bit of a headache at the moment. So we
Get some
may.
water. Get some water. I'm gonna talk to Fontaine here.
Okay, go ahead. I'll be right back.
He's having interesting points here. If your house burned down, I mean, Fontaine. Here's the point. If they have you have the money, right? So let's say this. So you have the money on your house, on whatever hole you can do it, and then you wanna give it to anyone that you know, and you said, I don't know, you're in your deathbed, and you say, I have money on this place, and you can take it. Sure. This person goes, they take it, and that's it. That's all she wrote. Then do they? How can they know if you had the money in the first place? I mean, sure, you can say the government is watching us and they are whatever, but how do they know? Your property in America, yeah, that's true in a way, but that's not the point. And birth certificates are to stop your ID number. Oh shit, that's true. We are cyber so. But the point is here, you need the birth certificates to know who your parents are, when you were born, and to identify yourself, which in a way makes sense. But why do you need a death certificate? You just need to know that people died. Yes,
How,
that's true.
how
That's
does the
it.
government know that you died? How does the government know to stop
Why
taxing you?
why the fuck do they need to know?
So they can stop taxing you.
So they so let's say I'm
What
dead.
about Social Security? How would they know to stop sending checks to you?
They send you checks.
Yeah, retirement checks.
Oh, the retirement is other thing.
Social Security checks come from the government.
Yeah, but the Americans with their certificates are corporations. That's a good fucking. I mean, that's true in a way.
Well,
It's
well, there
true.
is some truth to that. That's more of a sovereign citizen type of thing, and that's different.
What I learned so far is that we are in the matrix. This place is fucked. Nothing matters at the end.
I
Dude,
mean, don't get me wrong. I am totally. Let's. Everyone's like, oh, what happens if Russia uses nukes? No, you know what? Do it. I'm ready for it. Just
let
let
it
it
end.
all end. Do it. I'm ready. That's my stance.
You said you went for water and you bring a cigarette. That's not water, man.
I just drank water, but I came back to have a.
Some strong. But I don't. Why would you need to get tags? So at the end, if you say you're dead, you don't pay your taxes. Don't they just assume you died?
I don't know. Why would they assume you died? Why don't they just assume you got fired? Plus, most of the time at this point, you're not working. You're just getting paid by the government. I think the government has an interest to know when to stop giving you money because you're dead.
So what if let's say I go past 100 and I never declare my death?
It's not going to happen, but okay.
How do you know that?
Because you live in Peru.
Oh yeah, sure, but I don't know. Let's say I live past 35. That's my threshold. This point.
That's 35, okay?
And I stopped working, so I started receiving security, and I never declare my death. How do they know I'm still alive? They will need to go and check.
I mean, that's not. I don't know if that's really a thing here in America. When you die, it's very well known.
Why do they know?
You can't just hide.
How? Why not?
I don't know.
I mean, it's kind of private, like someone dear to you dies. Why does the policeman need to know? Why does your neighbor need to know? Why does anyone need to know?
Because, what are you gonna do with the body?
You put it in the backyard.
No, you can't do that
Why not?
because that is highly illegal. That is incredibly highly illegal. Like if you,
Well,
I can't even imagine how many list of charges you would get for burying a dead body in the backyard. Like, even if the person died of just old age, of natural causes, right? Burying them in the backyard is got to be at least 10 felonies.
this is gonna sound very weird, but it's in context, so I hope everyone gets it. So you're telling me the government doesn't allow me to have dead people in my backyard?
No, they don't.
You have the public news source for that those real work and can claim any of them. But that's if you have debt, which most people do at some point. But again, that's if you have faith.
I, I don't think there's anyone in America without debt.
Don't you all have like huge college debts that at the point of 30 something or 50 something you end up paying, and at the point you have more debt due to other things because you had to pay college debt?
Yes.
So don't like most people actually have debt.
Most people have debt.
Don't you have college debt? You don't, do you?
Yes, I do.
I mean, then how the fuck can you tell me with a straight face not to, you have debt?
I never said I don't have debt. I have like $70,000 in debt.
that that you will not pay?
Oh yeah, I'm not paying it.
So,
Yeah, if the government can be $1 trillion in debt, I can be $70,000 in debt and be perfectly fine.
how the, then what's the point of having debt to begin with?
Hey, it wasn't my idea to lend money to me.
Oh my fuck! So you're turning this into the argument of if the government is irresponsible enough to give a 17-year-old this amount of money, why the fuck do I have to cover for their mistake?
I mean, technically I was 28, but still, yes.
How do you get the money to begin with?
Hey, I'm going to college. I need money. Everyone loves to give you money to go to college.
Do you need to declare anything?
For the money that you get from college? I mean, technically, yes, you do. Yeah, you fill out a form, say that you got a loan. Yes.
I mean, but do you need to declare anything that you do with the money after?
Not really, no. No.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but at this point, you're only paying interest, right? You're not paying the actual debt.
I'm not paying anything.
No, I mean, like, if you were to pay.
Yeah, you pay mostly because you pay the interest first.
Is there any value to have that paid at all?
No.
You promised to repay it. Yeah, just like I promised my ex that we're gonna get married, but that's not gonna happen either. No, but here, okay. So, pretty quick. If you have debt for whatever reason,
Yes.
does it affect you in any way whatsoever?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. You get a bad credit score.
What is that?
Bad credit scores make it harder to buy a house, buy a vehicle.
I mean, it makes it harder, but not impossible.
Not impossible. No.
So, you're telling me debt is useless?
I mean, you could get sued. You know what happens when they sue you?
You don't pay.
you basically say, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll pay you," and then you still don't pay them. They don't do anything.
What they're gonna do? Sue you again?
Yeah, you don't go to jail for having debt. That's civil. You don't go to jail for civil. So yeah.
Because
All right.
I have.
I think I gotta go wrap.
I'm gonna have a stroke over this. This was supposed to make me understand something, but
Yeah, and yeah, we told you should have. You didn't understand it. I thought we were pretty clear.
I mean, to be completely honest, all of the people talking right now are Americans. So fuck you.
Michael Fontaine's not.
If you tell me French Canadian, it's something different.
Yeah, but he's Canadian.
Michael, are you Canadian?
Yeah, he lives. He's over the pond from where I am. He's on the other side of Lake Erie in Canada, so he's actually Canadian.
So you're oh yeah, Canadians do have less rights than Americans, which sounds weird, but that's true.
I mean, everyone has less rights than America.
Okay, kid, fuck off.
Freedom.
This is what being pride. This is what being prideful goes to, you know. A credit score is not your social score, which determines what you can buy. That's what China does.
Yes. Oh, he's in Buffalo.
So he's
Canada?
American. Buffalo, Canada. That sounds American as shit.
Buffalo, New York? You're in New York? I thought you were in Canada.
What I learned
Wait.
from all of this is that the moment I get to the US, and if I can get into that, I should get into that.
Oh, he's over by Niagara Falls, but okay, he's right on the border.
Wait, you can say Niagara and that's fine?
Niagara. Yes, Niagara Falls is a river system.
Yeah, but the word
A
Niagara.
waterfall. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Niagara is a totally different word.
So no Nigeria.
You can say Nigeria.
There is I'm not gonna go into this because this is gonna get really racy really fast.
Yeah. I have a headache. I need some aspirin. I gotta go to bed. It's been a rough day for me today. But you can keep going, Rev. I'll let you close
So
it.
let's end it here because I'm actually very involved into this. So I'm gonna go after this. I'm going into TurboTax, into the website for TurboTax, and I'm just looking at what a 29 is.
There's something I wanted to show you after this on the game. Real quick, it takes like 2 seconds, but we'll end this. We'll go to it.
But I'm actually just want to see the TurboTax thing.
All right. Well, we'll say goodbye then. Go ahead. You do it.
No, you do it. I'm far. I'm actually I'm in my bed.
Okay. Hey guys, have a great night. Thanks for joining us and getting Rav to understand everything about America.
We're doing this again.
We'll probably do this again. Have a good night.